Here we go. We are live. Hey, everybody. How the heck you doing this fine day? Welcome to a little bit of a extra special, totally surprise, off the cuff live stream. And we're streaming to like every platform we know. How's everybody doing? Hi, April. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hey, everybody. I'm good to see you.
I am good. I am good. The reason that we're doing this today is we've just finished our big building your online business boot camp where we took, it was over 1,000 people that we took through a 5-week course teaching about all the basics of building an online business and hosting your own online business and growing your own online business. And it was focused on baby boomers and Gen X. And so many of you, I think, probably participated in it. It's great to see you all here. But we're just wrapping things up on the boot camp, and the boot camp's one of the purposes of the boot camp was to let people know, help them make the decision whether or not building an online business was the right thing for them. And if it was, many of them are joining us in our Gray Wave community, our community that's dedicated to helping boomers and Gen X build online businesses. But we thought we'd have just one last kind of kick at the can to just let people ask questions and to kind of deal with the issues that some of us have, just to help us make that decision if building an online business is right for you, because it's not right for everybody. There's a lot of benefits to building an online business. There's a lot of things that online businesses are going to do for us, but they're a big commitment, and not everybody's cut out for them. So what I did is I put together a list of the most common issues that we've been hearing from our community as they're going through the decision-making process. Is what are the things that are holding you back, possibly from starting an online business? And then I thought I would give you my perspective, our perspective, from the Gray Wave and from our community perspective on some of those things. And I think the question that we hear the most, the concern people have most, I believe, is if there's too big a technological curve. They're afraid that their technical skills aren't up to snuff and they're going to get buried by the technology. They're going to get, and that's a legitimate concern. It's a legitimate concern because depending on how elaborate you build your online business, you can incorporate a lot of pieces of technology, and it doesn't always go smoothly. How often do we get together? Do I scratch my head on something and we have to puzzle it out as a team, April?
Lots of times.
But here's the thing. You're not stupid. I recognize that it can be a little bit frustrating, and you might think that sometimes the technology is beyond you. But really, there's very little in the space of building an online business that most of us can't master. That doesn't mean that you need to be able to get in there and do programming or write code or do those sorts of things that maybe sometimes needs to be done. But you have to know the technological level that I think most of us have to get to is knowing what the technology can do for us. Most of the time, you'll be able to puzzle it out for yourself and be able to figure it out for yourself. And that's a great journey to go on, even if it takes you a little bit of time, because then you're not intimidated by it anymore. You're not afraid of it anymore. But even if it is technically beyond you to do, if you can understand technically what's supposed to happen, then you can direct others with confidence. Think back to the early days of when we were having people build web pages for us, how lost we often were because we didn't really know what the web page was supposed to do and how it was supposed to work. And because we didn't understand the underlying purpose of the technology and exactly how it fit, we felt a little bit out of control. That's the stage that we strive for all of our members to get to, is understanding what the technology can and should do for you. Then if you're willing to take the step to do it yourself, bonus. But if not, at least you're in control, so that if you're hiring somebody on the outside, you're the boss. You understand exactly what's happening as far as that's concerned. So that's kind of my view of the technological learning curve, the concerns that we have. Another question we get an awful lot. By the way, April, if you see any questions coming in the chat, you can just let me know and I can deal with those as they come up. But the other question that people have is how long is it going to take me to turn the corner? if I'm going to build an online business, if I'm starting from scratch, how long is it going to take me to turn a profit, to turn around? And that's a difficult question to answer. That's one of the most difficult questions to answer, because so much of it is really it comes down to how much time you spend at the front end, how much time you have to spend learning as you're putting things together, and mostly how much time does it take you to reach a community, to start to reach a marketplace. For a lot of us building an online business, we're going to do things organically. We're going to build our membership and we're going to build our viewership through things like using YouTube or doing a podcast or blogging or Facebook, where we slowly gather our mail list. If you're doing it organically, it's going to take some time. If you have money to invest in ads, and you can do what we call paid traffic, where you pay for Facebook ads and you pay for YouTube ads, if you know what you're doing and you know exactly what your product and market is, you can turn it, you can build a business in a remarkably short period of time. But that does require some experience, and that does require having kind of been through it and recognizing all of the milestones along the way. But Facebook ads still, especially depending what marketplace you're in, but Facebook ads, Google ads. The thing about that, if you stop and think about one of the biggest concerns that we have with a company like Facebook, Meta, is how much they know about us, is how much information they're getting from us. And from a personal perspective, that gets a little bit, hello, Gilly, my pup is going to come up and say hi. Yes, come up and say hi to everybody. There you are. You're on YouTube. Say hi. You don't care. We're concerned about how much information, just how much they know about us. In some cases, they know us better than we know ourselves, as far as our purchasing habits, etc. That creates a sense of disquiet in us, and understandably, our privacy we feel like our privacy is a little bit under assault. But from the flip side, as a business person building an online business, perhaps selling something online, that analytics, that knowledge, that understanding of who the customer is, if I can articulate to Facebook or Google who my customer is and what I'm selling, if I can frame that presentation, they can get it in front of the right people. Now, have we priced it right? Is it the right product? All those other things, we still have to do those right. But I think the biggest challenge that most of us had, certainly in the early days of e-commerce in online business, was getting our content in front of the right people, getting the right people looking at it that are in a position to purchase. There was also a big trust factor in the early stages. People weren't that comfortable purchasing online. I think that's for the most part gone now. But now the challenge and I think the secret sauce is getting your message, your offer in front of the right people. And by understanding again how Facebook ads work, etc., you can succeed in that area. That's one of the areas that I feel the most confidence about as we move ahead in the whole world of online business is Google, Facebook, YouTube. Those big companies know so much about who is interacting with their platform. And they want you to succeed. They want you to have success in your ads, that if you give them the right information, you are going to be able to get it in front of them. So if you do the other pieces of your business right, you're going to succeed, and you'll turn that profit far more quickly than you might anticipate. All bets are off if you're building organically. That takes a lot more energy, a lot more effort. I see we have a couple of questions here.
I can't.
You can't see them.
I can't. No, I can see them, but I can't make them go up if you want that. So,
am I excited about the rollout of Microsoft 365 Copilot tomorrow? Are you going to sign up? No, the Blythe Gecko. I don't spend too much time in the Microsoft ecosystem. So what I imagine this is their new AI interface. I'll certainly take a look at the demos, but I'm not going to be signing up. I probably won't be using it myself. I do most of my creative work and most of my writing in the Google ecosystem, so consequently, I won't be doing that. But it's one thing we're going to see, and we're going to be overwhelmed with, is the amount of new product announcements, and not just the new product announcements that are coming out, but the inclusion of the interaction of AI and the modification of existing products as they roll AI capabilities into that. That's one of the reasons that for those of you who were part of our online bootcamp, know that we are in our new version of the gray wave of our online community. We have an area that's dedicated completely to just understanding and using AI for content creation that we call the AI Academy. You'll be hearing a lot more about that in the coming weeks because we're rolling it out as a standalone product, but we're going to be doing a weekly training and a weekly tutorial on implementing AI, especially in the world of content creation and online business. So so keep your eyes open for that. That's something that's very exciting and coming down the pipe. Let's take a look at this one. I have a general understanding of technology. My main concern is cyber attacks. How can we protect our online business from hackers? The best way to protect your online business from hackers is by making sure that your main website is secure, that you've got proper security settings and that you've enabled all the security. And if you choose the right web host, most of that is taken care of for you. If you're, say, using and creating your site in WordPress, making sure that you've got all the WordPress security and all of the security updates in place. And if you're using another service like a Wix or something along that line, they take care of that level of security for you, where that will take care of protecting your business for the most part. You still have to have good security hygiene yourself, not opening phishing emails. You have to protect you still have to protect yourself against other attacks that could get into your business that way. But for the most part, if you keep all of your security settings up to date in WordPress, if you're self-administered, or if you're using one of those other services, you shouldn't have any concern about cyber attacks. They could happen, but you aren't any more vulnerable than anybody else at that particular point.
So I think it would be great because you kind of opened up the door about the AI Academy to talk a little bit about the gray wave. You answered questions about the online business and we've been dropping it in the chat, but you really didn't talk about the gray wave and what it is and kind of what it offers and how it answers those questions for building your online business.
Good point. So the gray wave, our online community, we started about 5 years ago. I think this is the 5th year. It is the 5th year that we've had the gray wave. And here was the genesis of the gray wave. Is the gray wave, I recognize that somebody that looks like me in my age demographic that makes my living online on YouTube was not necessarily all that common. A lot of baby boomers, a lot of less Gen Xers, a lot of baby boomers, and some Gen Xers are intimidated a little bit by the online world and feel that the online space kind of belongs to younger generations. And with the different changes that are happening in society, with the amount of ageism that we start to see creeping up, many of us baby boomers are experiencing for the first time a little bit of prejudice in the workplace, where people are judging us by our age and maybe opportunities for advancement or hiring or inclusion in projects, we're starting to be limited. We're starting to recognize some limiting factors. And a lot of us just don't want to work anymore in the same kind of traditional environment. But we've got all these skills. We've got all this knowledge and all this experience that's just sitting there that we could use ever so effectively should we choose to build our own online business. But we don't think that we have the skills needed to build that online business. Well, the gray wave was formed with that exact issue in mind, recognizing that we have the skills. Baby boomers and Gen X have knowledge and experience in so many different areas. All we need to do is learn the easy part, which is how to build an online business. So we built the gray wave specifically to help boomers and Gen Xers take their life experience and convert it and pivot and build an online business themselves. And we would give them we would cover the skills and the techniques and everything that you need to know, and give you a community of peers to help you to get to achieve that purpose. And lo and behold, it's worked. We're in our 4th year. We've had hundreds of people go through the gray wave and learn the skills they need to build their online business successfully, which gives them security. It gives them relevance. There's so many benefits as a result of what we teach in the gray wave. Well, the world's evolving, and we've just opened the doors. Actually, we're just about to close the doors on the 5th version of the gray wave. And one of the things that we recognize this year is the massive impact that AI is having on all of us in the online business world, but so significantly for those of us who are creating content. And just because AI it changes the metrics. It changes how much time it takes. It changes the type of content that we're creating. It's going to change the volume of content that's created. It's changing the relationship that content creators have with their audience, because now increasingly we're starting to look at content that's being created saying, did Steve create that, or did some AI interface create it, and did Steve just publish it? And so that affects the relationship that we have and how we look at the value of the content. So we've got a lot to figure out. And I'm going to be the first to say, I'm a big fan of AI for content creation. It gives us, if we use it properly, it'll be a game changer. If we use it not properly, it'll still be a game changer. It just may not change the game in the direction that we want it to. But one thing we know is it is going to affect each and every one of us in our business and in our personal lives in a fairly profound way. I think it's the most significant technological advancement, single technological advancement that we're going to experience in our lifetime. It's going to be that profound for us. So consequently, we decided to dive right in with both feet. Jump in with both feet. I guess we'd dive in head first. We're jumping in with both feet is what we're doing. So we formed the AI Academy, which will be a weekly tutorial where we meet and we talk about some aspect of AI. And it'll be a community of peers, people who are content creators and online publishers and online business people who are concerned about AI from a ethical point of view, from a content creation point of view, from a productivity point of view, from a pragmatic point of view. And so we are going to look at how we use it each and every week so that we can be in charge. I don't know how you felt when you first entered, if you have yet, but gone into Chat GPT or another AI interface, typed something in, and just kind of felt like all of a sudden you're being swept along in a current because things are happening so fast. And how in the hell does this come out from what I just asked it? It's awe-inspiring is where we've gotten to already in just the earliest days. And the thing about AI is when you type something in today, that's the worst response we're ever going to get. From now on, it gets better and better and better, more relevant, more accurate, more impactful every step of the way. So if we're behind and we are being dragged along by it and we don't recognize it and we don't take some control over how it impacts and how it works in our business, I think we're putting ourselves behind the 8 ball. So we're going to try and get ahead of the curve with the AI Academy by developing the skills, developing the understanding. And the only way you can do that is a community. There are going to be so many different aspects of it coming down the pipe that we can't possibly keep our eye on all that many balls at the same time. So we will do our best to teach you the basic skills of using AI, and within the community, within the AI Academy and our community group, you can count on the rest of the members to keep you abreast of a lot of the newest and the unique use cases. So that is being launched to the public early next month. So keep your eye on this space. If you're not already signed up for our newsletter, I'll get Bob to drop the URL to the Dottotech site so that you're part of the newsletter. But the AI Academy, I think, is going to be a game changer for most of us.
So Steve, you have to drop those links. We're dropping them, but they're not going out to all platforms. That's what I copied in Slack for you to drop some stuff. Okay.
That's right. We haven't used.
I'm sorry. I should have looked at how you had it set up before we went live.
We're publishing to multiple platforms at the same time. So I just published the.
No, you didn't copy. Okay.
Sorry?
No, did you go in? There's a whole thing in Slack for you to copy and use, but that's okay.
I copied the only thing I see. Just a minute. Did you send it to me in our?
Yep.
You mean all the text?
You're fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's good.
I will do it again. You say I'm okay, but I'm not. There we go. There we go. Yeah, because we're using StreamYard, and StreamYard allows us to just allows the host to comment to everybody.
It's actually in the settings. So I use StreamYard a lot. So it's in the settings. Like
I should have set it up.
Yeah. So we just have to set it up. When you set it up, it's no big deal.
No worries. But anyway, I dropped you guys there the link for the Gray Wave so that you can see exactly what's happening inside of the Gray Wave community. And if you just go to there, you can sign up for our newsletter, and then there you'll get information about are about the Slack Academy, the AI Academy. I know the name of it, the AI Academy. Got it. Okay. Let me take a look here.
Some of the questions we answered in the chat. So,
okay, good. Well, let me go through some. I don't know whether or not the concerns that I've talked about you as far as starting an online business. Just out of curiosity, if you can just type it in the chat. How many of you already have your own online businesses or are thinking about your own online business? The other big, while you're putting that in, I will fill you in on my notes that I made. Some of the other big issues that it's interesting that the question was about being scammed and about security, because that was the next one that I had in my list. So that's why I was so prepared with the answer. How much time does it take? And again, that's another one that becomes a real personal use. A lot of people start their online business and start their journey towards an online business while they're still employed. And they do it as a side hustle. They begin to dabble in a vertical space. And here's one of the keys to recognize if you are thinking about building an online business is there is so much opportunity that even if you're in a very busy space, a space that looks like it's busy, there's almost always still plenty of room, plenty of opportunity for you to get your foot in that door. Because people build a relationship with you over time if you're building an online business, and they want you to know your perspective and they want to recognize where you're coming from. So there is far more opportunity than we realize, typically speaking. The other thing that I find most online, especially people that are starting an online business, is they try and do too much out of the gate. And I don't mean too much work as far as learning and learning the skills of building an online business. I'm saying about the marketplace that you're reaching or the community or the audience that you're trying to build is they try and build too big an offering, creating too large a catchment. We can go very narrow and very vertical. You can be very specific about who you want to sell to and who you want to have in your business. And the more narrow and the more specific and the more focused you are, the more success you'll have. Because of what I was talking about earlier, the algorithm, they can get to the right people. And if somebody is speaking specifically to something that speaks to your heart or speaks to your needs, you are far more likely to then engage with them and follow them because they are giving you something that's directly applicable to what it is, the issues that you're having. If somebody's just talking in general, if I was talking in general terms and I was saying AI is going to have a big impact on the entire world, and I just said that, it wouldn't mean a lot to you. And getting you to look at something like the AI Academy might be difficult. But if I specifically talk about the fact that we are going to be learning how to use it to craft content, to write content, for creating scripts for videos or editing our videos, or creating the podcast notes that we're going to create to deliver our podcast, or to create the supporting written content that takes so long for your online courses, and the AI is going to facilitate those steps. If we focus on those more relevant, pertinent points, it then starts to resonate. It's not going to resonate with as many people, but the people it resonates with it's going to be far more impactful, and you're going to have a chance then to build that relationship and go from there.
So somebody was saying, what about an old guy that's tech savvy but is struggling with a product or service to offer? My background is technical sales in the print industry, successful for 40 years. Can the Gray Wave help?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's for. The boot camp that we've just gone through, I'm telling you, you should have joined us a couple of weeks ago, but we actually go through an entire process inside of the boot camp, which is part of the Gray Wave, where we walk you through basically the process of understanding what value you have to bring to the table and what the opportunities are and how you can start to build a business or start to recognize the direction that you're going to build a business. Here's a couple of keys for you to recognize. If you spent 40 years in business, in old school business, the business that you look at and the business that you came out of is dramatically different from what an online business looks like. In the old days when we built a business, we had to have everything in place. We had to have our marketplace. We had to have our inventory. We had to have our phone number and our business cards. And we had to have our insurance in place. We had to have all of these pieces in place before we could start down the path of building the business. And so if we'd done anything wrong in that makeup, if we had made any wrong assumptions or had any mistakes, it could be fatal, because it was very difficult to change direction and be agile. When you build an online business, you can start down a path, and we call it fail fast and pivot. You can try something, say, here's an idea that I'm gonna, and then post it out to your community. Ask them what they think about it. Maybe even offer them, saying, I'm thinking about delivering a webinar on this topic here. Does anybody want to learn about this topic here? If nobody signs up, great. Then you know that that's not exactly what they're interested in. You can pivot and you can take it into a different direction. It doesn't mean what you're offering is bad. It just means that it isn't what they want at that point. And you have to then find where the value is with your community. So for an older person that's building a business, the biggest change that you have to make is you have to change your your understanding what a business looks like, and recognize that in the modern business model, that we move ahead at a much faster pace, and failure is not a problem for us. It's an opportunity to learn, and then we just kind of keep dodging and going on, keep pivoting until we find the path to success. For somebody like you, I can't say that for sure, but that within a couple of weeks or a month or two, you'll know exactly what it is you want to do. But it'll be a combination of your experience, the opportunities you see online, and your passions, the things that you're interested in. And in that cocktail, you'll find the business that you want to embark in.
So I wanted to give a shout out to Marcia O'Malley. She's our 100th new member in the Gray Wave.
Are you serious? Did we just hit 100?
We hit 100.
Good Lord.
Woohoo. Welcome. We're so excited to have you.
That's great. Well, with every single person who joins the Gray Wave, we get that much. The beauty of our community of the Gray Wave is it's a bunch of old farts, baby boomers and Gen Xers, who have years and years of experience. And the most valuable part of our community is the community itself, the people you get to know and the experiences that they have, and your ability to bounce ideas off them and have them offer advice and support, etc. So with every single person that joins, we get that much better, and we're 100 people better as of today. So that is just awesome. And Blythe Gecko also signed up.
Very nice. Very nice.
I don't know. Is that Ronald? Ronald, is that you? I don't know, because Blind Gecko doesn't tell me who you are, but I see that we just had Ronald sign up as well. So if that's you, welcome aboard. Thrilled to have you here.
It is Ron. It is Ron. Welcome. Welcome. He's upgraded for so awesome.
I love his avatar.
Yes. Awesome. Alrighty. Russell's asking, technology doesn't bother me, but I'm still a 40+ hour work week career, but I can't leave right now. That makes me believe that I'd have difficulty making the time commitment. Your comments and thoughts?
Absolutely. Russ, you've got to work within the bandwidth that you have. And if you're still in the 9-to-5 grind and you've got those responsibilities, it does become very, very difficult. But that doesn't mean you have to, that doesn't mean you can't start moving in the right direction. Recognizing that you might not be able to start building your online business right now, if you know the area that you think you're going to be interested in, you can still insert yourself in that space, in that community. If it's a business to business type opportunity that's going to be happening and it's something maybe related or tangential to what it is you do, starting to post, starting to write the odd blog post or create, take in webinars, take in content in the space that you are interested in and you want to learn about or you want to insert yourself in, you can start setting the groundwork now. And you're also way ahead of many because you can start imagining. And when you look at online businesses and see what somebody else is doing, you can say, that's something that I'd like to do, or I wouldn't be interested in that at all. You can start kind of the decision-making process that will help you make the right decision when the time comes that you do have the time. Once you start, there's nothing wrong with if you have the extra time and the extra energy, your kids say get grown and you're still working 40-hour work week, but you can spend 2 or 3 hours in the evening working on something, starting your side hustle at that point and building from there. We talk about 3 different types of entrepreneurs. They're just I'll quickly go over our 3 archetypes because I think it makes a big difference, especially for those of you that are still working. One type of entrepreneur is what I am, and I stole this, I think, from Marie Forleo, but that's a passionpreneur, somebody that builds a business that's based on passion. So our net result is a combination of money and impact. We want to make a difference in people's lives, but we also want to make a profit. Then there are pragmatists, people who don't care what they do as long as it makes money. And so those are people that are well set up to do research online, to look and see what's happening, see what the hot thing is, try and get ahead of the curve and try and make money from it. And your measuring stick is success. You want to build profit. And the internet is a phenomenal place for that. If you don't have to inject your passions into it, but instead you can just play the game like it's a gambling game almost, you can be really, really successful, especially if you're smart and you're a good researcher, because you can use the tools. The third type of business person is the traditionalist. That's the person that might be like you, who has done something for somebody else and been paid making money for somebody else for your whole career. And it's time to change and to start doing it for yourself. So you're going to do what you've always done in the skill sets that you always have, but instead of doing it for somebody else, you're going to build it for yourself and use online as a platform to build your own business. And those are kind of the 3 archetypes of business people. And some people cross over back and forth, but those are I think you can probably see yourself in one of those.
I think it'd be helpful if you could share the sales page and go through the pricing, because people were asking what it includes. I think some people are just seeing some of this for the first time. So if you could go through and walk through, I think that would be helpful, please.
Let me just load it up. There it is. Okay, let me share it with everybody. I got too many tabs open, April. Go figure. How did that happen? Okay, I'm going to share screen, and I'm going to share the one right there. Okay, so you getting that?
It's coming through. Yep, you got it.
This is the sales page for the Gray Wave, our community of baby boomers and Gen Xers who are looking at building a business. And I mean, our tagline: craft a future that's defined by your achievements, not your age. Our age, I look at as an asset. We've made our mistakes. We have our business. We have a phenomenal set of contacts available to us. We've done all the hard part in building an online business. The benefits that you're going to get from having an online business include financial security, a lot more control over your life. Within the Gray Wave, we have weekly live trainings. We have things called accountability groups. I'll speak more on this in a moment. Certification programs, a library of resources, and a community of peers that is just awesome. So let me go down here to what it is included. All right. So the Gray Wave is a membership site. It's a membership community. So we use Thinkific as a membership platform. And we have a variety of different content and libraries and information that's available to you inside of the Gray Wave. One thing we do is called skills certification. This is very cool. Companies like Meta and Google have training programs, certification programs to use their product. For example, Google Analytics 4. They've just released the new version of Analytics. They have a training where you can get certified on Google Analytics 4 and how to use it and how to read the analytics and how to measure the traffic to your website, etc. And it's a certification program. They put together a free course that is self-led. You have to go through it yourself, which is, I think it's like 8 modules, and it's pretty in-depth, that you can take for free. Most people start it, few people finish it, because it's hard to go through these things by yourself without an instructor to ask questions to, or a cohort that encourages you and helps you when you're dragging your ass and you can't keep moving. So we put together a cohort, a group of people, and we do an accountability group where we go through the skills certification programs as a group, and we have regularly scheduled meetings like a book club, like a book of the month club type thing, where we go to get together, ask questions. If you're stuck on something, you go through that together. And at the end of it, everybody takes the test and gets their certification. It's a great, great feature that we include. We also have now 5 years worth of core training programs, things like how to deliver webinars and how to set up your email autoresponders and how to do screencasting and create tutorial videos and how to deliver your first online course. We've got over 25 core modules on online business that are all standalone, excellent training courses that are part of the Gray Wave. We have our content club, which is another accountability group. One of the big challenges most people have in building an online business is, if you're in the content side, delivering content to build your marketplace, to build your audience, is keeping a steady flow of content coming out. We tend to get stuck and start doing last minute content and stuff that we're really not all that proud about, but because we haven't published for a while, we're going to publish, and it becomes a chore. And frankly, a lot of us start to resent the content side of our business. We meet once a month, early in the month, to plan next month's content, so you always have content in the pipeline, so you never get to that point that content becomes a chore and a burden, but instead you can actually strategically create great content that you're proud of that helps to lift your brand up. So that's part as well. Then there's the big bonus. We are including the AI Academy, which I just spoke about, this new academy where we're going to be every week having a single tutorial and a community around getting and using and implementing AI in your business. We're going to be selling that for $59 a month starting in November, but it's included for free with the Gray Wave. Our membership for the Gray Wave is $99 a month. We'll talk about the pricing in a moment, but it's included in the $99. It includes the AI Academy. So really, you're getting everything else for $40 a month, which is just an awesome, awesome deal. And I wax on and on about how AI is going to change everything here. Additional things that there is inside of the Gray Wave is we do weekly workshops. Every week we have 1 or 2 live tutorials and trainings where we create what will later on become the core content, where we teach classes and we teach, and they're usually between 3 and 8 weeks of content. Things like list building and funnels we have coming up, setting up an email autoresponder, designing and building your first website. We have a YouTube course coming up for creating your first YouTube channel. So those are the workshops that we do that are live trainings and live tutorials. The trainings and tutorials are Tuesdays and Thursday morning Pacific time. What time are they? 9 a.m. I think they're 9 a.m. Pacific. They're noon. Is it 8 or 9, April?
No. So I'm sorry, I was answering chat. So which one are you talking about? Workshops? They are, workshops are at 8 a.m. Pacific.
8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah. So we have them then, but everyone is recorded. So if you can't attend live, you will always be able to get the recordings, and the recordings are always online by the next day. So they are all there as well. Then we also, every Friday morning, or early afternoon if you're in the East, we have a basic skills tutorial called Foundational Friday, where we teach the little short tutorials that teach you one important thing about building online businesses. They're called Foundational Friday. They've been an excellent resource, and we have over 70 short little tutorials. So if you need to know how to build a one-page landing page really quickly, we've got a little course on that. If you're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant, we've got a course on that. If somebody told you need to start backlinking your blog and you go, what the hell is backlinking my blog? We have a course on that. So we've got, and every week we add one more course to this roster. So this is just a terrific resource that's available to you. But the most value, in my opinion, is the community. The number of people who we have who are generous with their time, rich with their experience, that interact with each other, so that when you have an idea, when you build your first landing page for your product and you say, is it good, is it bad? You can't show it to your wife or your husband or your partner or your kids, because nobody understands online marketing in your family. That's one of the big challenges. None of your friends do. They all look at you like you got 3 heads when you start talking to them about list builders and lead magnets. They don't know what you're talking about. Inside of our Facebook community, you have a group of peers who will give you the advice, give you the feedback, give you the encouragement, and help keep you on track. Our Facebook community is incredibly valuable. And what I said earlier, every single person in the community has got 30, 40, 50 years of experience that they're willing to share in a variety, in almost every industry under the sun, at almost every type of position under the sun. We have such a rich resource in our community that it is ridiculous. They're just fantastic. So if you act before the end of today, you get the bonus of the AI Academy included, and we keep it simple. There's no complicated pricing models. $99 a month, you can cancel anytime, or you can go all in. $999. That gives you 12. That gives you the full year of access, all included. So that is the deal that we have in place. We try and keep it simple. No tiers, no all sorts of we used to have different pricing models, but we want everybody to have access to everything, and we don't want anybody shut out of anything, and we want to keep it as simple as possible. So for that, you get access to all of the live trainings, the AI Academy, the Facebook community, the workshops and special interest groups, the certification programs should you choose, 25 full marketing courses, over 250 tutorial webinars, and 70 foundational Fridays, all included in the with the $99 a month. I think it's a terrific bargain. Oh, plus we've also got the just completed Building Your Online Business Bootcamp, a 10-part module that gives you the basic foundations of starting your business if you're at the early stages. And we just completed that with a whole cohort, but that's included as well. So sign up before the end of today, and everything's included.
We just got 5 new members.
I see that a whole bunch of people signed up. Dwayne, Patricia, Rebecca, Lola, as well as Ronald Marcia earlier. That's awesome sauce.
Yeah. Awesome.
We've exceeded our expectations of the number of people signing up this season, this term. So we're about as happy as can be. Well, at least, yeah, we're very, very, very happy right now with the number of people looking forward to getting to know everybody.
Well, can you imagine the amount of experience and breadth of knowledge they're going to bring to the group and enhance it? It's going to be awesome. Awesome. Yes,
it is a very good thing. And I forgot I didn't mention the accountability groups. Every Tuesday morning we have an accountability group. One of the things that we found from teaching now 5 years of the boot camp of the Gray Wave is we teach a lot of great techniques. We teach you a lot of great stuff. And a lot of people get stuck in the learning mode and don't get out to doing as much as they want. And we actually reached a point where we think we were dominating people's time too much and not giving them enough time to do the work that we were teaching them to do. So we've built into the Gray Wave now the goal of actually getting shit done, getting the stuff done. And so we have an accountability group where everybody gets together, and if you haven't been part of one, you might look at it kind of up, you might side eye me when I tell you about it. But we basically start as a big ass Zoom call, and we all say, okay, I'm working on my outline for my webinar next week. And you don't share it with anybody, you just do it. And for an hour, we focus on getting that work done. And then stuff gets done when we do it that way. And so we facilitate that with one that we schedule, but then our members, because the time zones don't always work, and sometimes the content, people want to be working with other people that are doing the same kind of content, they get together and they form their own small accountability groups, and you'll form your own inner circle of people who you trust, you work with. And that is it's one of the things that really warms my heart when I see the different little cliques forming inside of the Gray Wave of people that are working together and benefiting from each other's experience and energy. So that's another one of the benefits that we bring to the table as well.
Sorry, I guess my computer hasn't been on the charger wasn't charging. Battery's about to die.
Dogs walk by and they knock the chargers off, don't they?
They do.
I think we should actually almost make it a prerequisite that if you're a member of the Gray Wave, you have to have a dog, because April's got like 70 dogs. Bob has a pup. I've got a dog who's
I have, but yeah, I do. It feels like 70.
Yes.
All righty. Well, that's awesome. So
we have one more question here.
We're already. Yeah.
Looks like that is just what it. Well, folks, I hope that you found this valuable. We're going to start doing a lot more live streams. And for those of you who are, especially those of you on YouTube that haven't seen me for a while, it has been a strange year for me. Just about this time last year, I discovered a condition in my heart, which kind of sidelined me for a good part of the year. I had open heart surgery in February, and we're just kind of back in getting things kind of back moving ahead as far as our content. While I was going through that, April and Bob held the fort down with the Gray Wave and did a yeoman's work keeping things going there. But we are going to be doing a lot more regular live streams, especially on the topic of AI. I know a lot of you are pissed off when you see all of these people posting all this information about AI and Facebook and telling you how important it is and offering you all these get rich quick ideas around AI. And I understand if you're a little bit jaded by the hype around AI. And believe me, I'm not the person who likes to jump on a hype bandwagon. That is not me at all. But I am to a certain extent with AI. I'll just bury the lead just a moment, if you'll humor me for a moment. A lot of people are going to look at using AI in order to create as a shortcut, to create content, to create things easily without doing the work, letting AI do the work for them, and then putting it forward as their work and thinking that it's a shortcut to publishing lots of content and just basically flooding us with information. I don't look at AI that way. I don't think that anybody that joins our community is going to look at AI that way. If you look at AI with a slightly different lens and you say, I'm still the person that's creating the content, I'm doing the work, but AI can help me craft it and make it exceptional. So that because there's going to be so much content published out there because of AI, that in order for us to rise above the crowd, we're going to have to do a better job than ever before. And for that, we can partner with AI. So I look at AI as a collaborative tool, not as a slave that's creating content and writing for me and doing my work for me, but instead using the AI as a collaborator to help get the best out of what you do, help you over the bumps, help you over writer's block, help you over the sticky points, help you when your energy isn't quite as high as it should be to deliver crafted content that's better than you would have been able to deliver had you not used it. So finding those places to use it is my goal with AI. So we're going to be talking a lot about AI here inside of the on YouTube, as well as weekly inside of the AI Academy. And I think that this time next year we're going to look back and we'll just be amazed with what it's doing for us and how we're using it. I have no idea how we'll actually be using it in a year, but I know it'll be significant. And we plan to be in charge rather than let it just drag us along.
Welcome, Kimberly.
Oh, yes. Wave. It is great to see everybody in. All right. I think that we've kept everybody's time enough. It was just about an hour. Look forward to seeing you all again a little bit more frequently online. As I said, we're kind of back in the saddle. We're back in content creation. The gray wave is chugging along. It closes today. So you want to make sure that you don't miss out. If you want to join in the gray wave, you have until midnight tonight, and then we turn back into a pumpkin.
You know what? Before we go, Claude had mentioned that even though they've been retired for 12 years, I don't think I have the time to commit. Now I'm sad. I know this would be good for me. So can you just talk a little bit about the time commitment expectations before we go?
Inside of the gray wave itself?
Yeah. Yes.
We do, as far as our live, what we do live, we basic everything. Gilly heard me starting to wrap up. She's starting to recognize it. Inside of the gray wave, what we recognize that we want to make sure you have enough time to do the work or to do other things that are important. So we pack everything into 4 days a week. Mondays are dark on the gray wave. We don't do anything on Mondays. Tuesday, we do a 1 hour tutorial first thing in the morning, and that's pretty much religious. We do that each week. You don't have to attend live. You can take it on whenever you want. But those tutorials are typically, I say an hour. We block out an hour. Usually they're 40, 30 minutes, 35 minutes of content, but they can be up to an hour. Then we have our accountability group, which again, you can choose to attend if you want, but it's not determined. The AI Academy will be Wednesday mornings, which many people are going to want to attend. And again, it'll be recorded if you don't want to attend live. And then we do webinar Wednesday, our regular free webinar, but that's to the public. And there's no, if you're interested in the productivity topic or the content creation topic of that week, you might choose to participate. And then I would say most Thursday mornings, again, early, we will be doing our second tutorial of the week, live tutorial. And again, it'll be a half hour to 45 minutes, so an hour long tops. And that's really it as far as, and then Foundational Friday, we do also in the morning. So I would say as far as synchronous time, that if you attend all of the things live that you kind of can or would want to inside of the gray wave, it could be 4 hours a week of live content that we deliver. but it's all recorded, and so you can take it at any time you want. And then whatever else you decide to consume. If you're going and you're taking one of our back courses, it's however long those courses are, and they can be anywhere from 6 hours of content through to 20 hours of content at the top end. And then it's how much time it takes you to create the content and do the work that you're doing, building your own graphics, writing, doing your own video, your podcast, whatever type of content you're creating, that obviously is on top. But the actual Gray Wave tutorial time and engagement time to learn from us, between 3 and 4 hours a week, I would say, at the low end. And then if you're spending time in the forum chatting with others, of course, you can spend a lot more time than that, should you choose to.
You should bring Bob back in so he could say goodbye too.
Oh,
so he's not just a phantom of the chat.
Yeah, Bob is always in.
I hope your camera ready, Bob.
Oh, I can bring. Oh, I have to bring him in. He can't bring him in. There we go. I'll add Bob. There you go, Bob.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Where's your dog?
She just barked. The doorbell rang, so she ran downstairs.
Bob has a toy dog. It's about that big.
No, she's 22 pounds.
Not like Gilly Girl here. No. Well, listen, everybody. It's great to be back. It's fun to be back online. I appreciate all of the kind comments and all of the welcoming me back, and I'm also very, very pleased to be back delivering. And this team here will be. You'll see us, a lot more of us over the next little while. And those of you who joined the Gray Wave, you're going to see a lot more of us, and we are looking forward to getting to know you all super well inside the Gray Wave. So with that, midnight tonight is the cutoff. Look forward. There we go. Bob's in the
we
spirit.
Just wanted to come on to show your Halloween spirit.
Yes.
Oh, April, you should take your mask off too.
Actually, really not nice.
I'm kidding. Oh, I'm kidding. All right. With that, everybody, till next time, have fun storming the castle.